Welcome back, everybody. Cliff again. Still working on this variant campaign system for Sniper Kill Confirmed. We completed our 7th mission as I'm modifying this game last time, which was in the countryside. We killed our guy at position 4. We got off position 6 with 8 XP, 2 wounds, so 6 victory points. That brought us up enough XP that we could buy Trigger this time. So we're going to buy Trigger, which will give us +1 to our attacks. Got to remember to use that. So we've got Fieldcraft, convert a card to a blank. Infiltrate, use a move to try to move to the next card regardless of movement points. Alert, which works along with what they call the equipment card to detect claymores and tripwires. Camo gives us +1 cover. So we've got some good skills. Let's move over to Tabletop Simulator. And it looks different again. I've made some more changes, a lot of tweaks here. Thinking about if this was a perfect world, and I was thinking about what I'd want to come out of the box. The map I made before wouldn't be easily printable. It was like 3 side-by-side 8.5 by 11 sheets fused together to like 25.5 inches by 11. Nobody prints that. This map is 20 by 20 inches, and it's a trifold map. You can get these printed. So in a box, if you got this game the way I have it designed, you'd get 200 poker cards, a half sheet of 5/8 counters, that's 88 counters double-sided, with a counter tray. This map, the 20 by 20 trifold, 1 8.5 by 11 player's aid, the rule book, and that'd pretty much be it. Maybe 3 dice. So the only things I have left, I think, to tweak are balance. I'm trying to get the difficulty right. And art. I'd want to redo all the art on the card fronts and card backs, and maybe look at the counters too. Make them cleaner, nicer. If Compass was to do this, I'd let them put a real artist on it. If they're not interested, I'll do my best with Photoshop. We'll see. We'll see. So in this, I'm creating a dashboard. It's 20 by 20 and the whole game plays on it. So I mean, you got your action cards here, your tactical deck here, your hostiles here. Mission, 6 locations that you might or might not use depending on the mission. The abilities are your rifle and all of your skills. Movement points to move to different locations. Experience points. 5 kills equals 1 experience point. On wounds, you can see -1s, and critical wounds, you see -1s. I've made some changes. Over here is our display for long, medium, short, close range. For our encounters, our wind table, and enemy reserves down here. Everything plays on this 20 by 20, so on your table, your card table, you could just have this 20 by 20 mounted trifold map. Everything would be on it. Easy to play. Nice and compact. That's the way I like solitaire games to look. So, what have I changed? Well, if I change the decks, which I'll do on my own if Compass doesn't do it. I don't like claymores. That's a very specific weapon. I'd rather call those IEDs and treat them the same. The equipment card kind of bugs me. What kind of equipment is this? I'd call those detection cards. If you play a detection card, you can detect a tripwire. If you have a alert, you're alert and you can see the tripwire. If you have a claymore, you need to be alert and then have a detection card to see and avoid the IED. I'm going to try to up the difficulty a little bit, put more pressure on the enemy reserve track here. So for this play, I've added 2 more enemy reserve cards to the hostile deck. So there's 22 cards instead of 20. That's about 18% chance. About 1 in 20. 18% chance. but 1 in 5 of drawing a reserve card. Okay. These minus here. I figure as you're getting wounded, it ought to cut down your ability to spot and fire. So if you get 2 wounds, you get a -1 DRM to spot and on your shooting. Another 2, you lose another 1. Each critical wound counts as 2 wounds. So -1 for the first critical wound, -1 for the second critical wound. Whenever you get a wound, you roll 2d6 to see if your sniper has been, your spotter has been killed. On a critical wound, you roll 2d6 twice if either of those come up as snake eyes. Low is bad in this game. High is good. So if you get snake eyes on either the roll here or either of the 2 rolls for a critical wound, then your sniper's spotter is KIA, and you have -2 for all future firing and spotting. That'd be a bad deal. Let's see here. I got rid of the D10 for jams. Originally rolled 2d6 for your shot and a d10 for jam. 1 in 10 is too much. 3d6 is too little. So now we're just going to roll 2d6. If you get a snake eyes when you fire, that's a jam, a malfunction. So that's what I'm going to do there. The big change is that cover is going to apply to hostiles as well as us. With the base game, the way it was made, cover only really affected us, made it harder for them to hit. Now it's going to affect spotting and firing as well. So for spotting, if somebody is moving, it's going to be easier to spot them. The human eye is really good at seeing and detecting movement. So you get a +1 DRM to spot. So instead of needing a 3, you only need a 2+ to spot. If they are stationary, though, they'll use their cover, and it'll be harder to see. So if they're in +2 cover and they're not moving, then instead of needing a 3, you need a 5+ to spot. In addition, with spotting, if the target changes status between shots, you need to respot. So if they were moving and they stay moving, you don't need to respot. If they were stationary, they stay stationary, you don't need to respot. But if they go from stationary to moving or vice versa, or they change range, you need to respot between shots. Things like Iron Lung only affect 1 shot. Bipods remain. Then when firing, if once you have them spotted, cover also affects. If they're moving, they get the -1 DRM for movement. If they're stationary, they get a -DRM for any cover. So if they're in 2 cover, they get -2, -1 if they're moving. In the open, they get -1 for moving. They get nothing for being stationary in the open. I think that makes sense. Also, with the advent of my skill for camo, and you get a +1 cover, if you're in +2 cover with that camo, that's +3. That means they need a 7 on a d6 to hit you. That can't happen. But I want there to be some chance of them hitting, so they'll roll. If they get a 6, they need to re-roll the 6 and get a 6 again. Then they will get a hit. So there's always some chance that they'll get a hit. It's never a 0 chance. That is pretty much it. The ghillie suit is ignore the first hit. If you draw that with a tripwire or with a IED, it'll still take off the first hit and turn that crit into a regular wound. My idea being that maybe the suit gives you some protection from the blast, or it made for like a IED, it makes it harder for the hostiles to see where you really are, and they set it off at a suboptimal time, and you're able to evade the main blast. So the ghillie suit can protect you a little against things like that, as well as like sniper fire or being in close combat. Those are the main changes. Perhaps when I'm finishing, I'll consider the victory margins. Right now, 30 points XP, 30 victory points are needed for a minor victory, and 50 are needed for a major. I might up that to 40 and 60 because it's easier to get victory points now. So we'll see what these 2 extra enemy reserve cards do. Also, when you draw an enemy reserve card, when you're trying to draw a hostile, say you're trying to draw a hostile and you get enemy reserves, instead of putting it to the bottom, since there's more of them now, we just draw another one and keep going. So there's no sticking them on the bottom, piling up at the end of the deck. Those are the main changes. I'd really appreciate feedback from anybody, if anybody's watching this, to whether or not this makes any sense, whether you think I'm making any improvements, whether you'd like to see Compass Games pick this up, or whether you think it's all just a bunch of BS. I'm happy to hear both sides. So without further ado, let's play our 8th assignment in our tour of duty. We're in the desert. We got a weapons expert. We've got a Russian, part of the Wagner group, who's in training the Taliban on laying ambushes and making IEDs, and we're sent out far into the desert to take him out. So we got targets here, 20 of them. We'll shuffle those, shuffle my actions, shuffle my tactical, shuffle my hostiles. We're in the desert, I'll shuffle the desert. The target is in location 5. Location 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. And that's our exfiltration site. And our sniper goes into position 1. I also made a spot for our cards in play on the mat, so everything stays on this mat in one big dashboard. Alright. I did take a new skill here. Search. I said I was taking trigger +1 to hit. Nothing for windage. So +1 to hit, 0 on windage. Alright, there we are. I shuffled everything. I take 5 action cards and a tactical card. I'm in position 1, so we check for patrols right away. No patrol. So, our first card is a claymore right away. I've got alert. Do I have an equipment, i.e. a detection card? Yes, I do. I have a detection card and I have my alert skill. I'm going to play that equipment card to avoid the claymore. I'm in +2 cover. I'm going to take our first hostile card on over. Enemy reserves, which we ignore. We take 3 hostiles and put them at long range. 1, 2, 3 hostiles at long range. I've got a blank, a move, a bipod, a med kit, iron lung. We got a long ways to go. We got a +2 cover right now. They're a long ways from us. We're in good cover. So we're going to try to sneak forward. We're going to use our move card. We're going to use our infiltration skill. So we need a 6, but we got +2 for the cover, so we need a 4 on 2 rolls. We do not succeed, which means that I think they heard something. They move closer, and any of their buddies show up. Yes. That did not work out for us. Enemy reserves. Well, crap. Got a med kit. Bipod. Blank. Med kit. Bipod. Blank. Iron lung. I'm going to keep the med kit. I'm going to throw the bipod up here. This move is done. Throw the bipod up there with a blank. I'm going to convert that bipod with my fieldcraft skill. That's the first one I've converted. I'm going to make that into a move card. I'm going to try that again. Action, action, move card, a 4+. Got it. That gives me 15 of these and XP, and we move with a crawl. So these guys do not follow us. Int card 2, which is just a compound with +1 cover. I don't need this action. I don't need this tactical card. I'm now in zone 2. In zone 2 we need to draw our hostiles. There. 3 hostiles at long range. We're going to try to draw for radio contact. We got radio contact. Is there anybody in the area? Yes. We get an airstrike, which is going to take out those 3. An A-10 swoops in with its Avenger cannon blazing, does a gun run, takes these guys right on out of there for us. Gives us another 15. 5, 10, 15, and an XP. We need another. That's done. Another check here for their. Come on, get over there. Just want the top card. There. No reserves. 5 cards. 1 card. I'm in position 2 now. No patrol. I got +1 cover. I've got 30 to go into position 3. I need 30. I've got it. So all I need is a crawl. Hidden. Suppress. Move. Blank. Bipod. Iron lung. I take the blank, and I'm going to take the suppress, and I'm going to convert it. And I'm going to make that into a crawl. And we're just going to crawl to the next card, which is no cover. Crawled into the open. These guys, whatever they were, are gone. We need a hostile card. 3 hostiles at long range. 1, 2, 3. Didn't really matter what they were before. I've got iron lung. I've got a bipod. I've got a move and a hidden. I'm going to try to play the move card, but I'm in no cover, so I need to roll a 6 straight up. And I do. 1, 2, 3. 1. Flip. +2 cover and a compound. We evade these guys because that was like crawling. I got nothing useful here. I'm going to get rid of this tactical card. Get rid of these action cards. Get rid of that move card. We're in 4 now. So I need 5 actions, 1 tactical, patrol, 6, no patrol. I need some hostiles here. Two hostiles at long range. We're doing okay for pressure. We're 1 away from our target. I've got 45, and to move into our target, I need 60. What do I have? Ghillie suit to protect me. Crawl. Equipment. Fire. Fire. Move. I'm going to just try to move. I'm in +2 cover. I need a 4. Fail. They come closer. They check. Enemy reserves. That didn't work out. That's used up. They're at medium range. I'm going to try to fire at them. Medium range is a 0. Are they moving? 5. They are not moving. If they're not moving, then this +2 cover applies to them. I need a 5 to see them. I do not see them. Second shot on this card. I see him that time. I'm on my second shot. Alright. They are not moving. Medium range. 0, 0. Wind. No. Just 1 die. 3. -1. That's -2. -2, 5, 6, 7. Missed. They move to short range. We check to see if we were detected. We were not. That was that card. Alright. That's an action card. One more fire card. Now they're at short range. +1. Are they moving? 6. No. So they get their cover, which is +2. We need 5. We see them. Alright, this is my first shot. I have a +1 weapon skill. He's at short range, +1. He's not moving, +1. Wind. 6. That goes up 1, it's a -2. That's a -1. I have a +1. So that's 0, I need a 5. I miss. They come into close range. Do they get any attention for that? No. We're in close combat. Two hits. That kills those guys. That gives me 10. 55. I need 60 to move on. It gives me a +1 here. I take these guys off. Hostile, 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 hostile. I should apply that cover to them. I need a 3. I need a 2, 3, 4. I think I get 1 hit. And they need to roll a 6 twice. That's a hit. I'll take the ghillie suit to take that down to a regular hit. And I've got to roll. Yeah, I got the other one. So now we've picked up 1 hit in that process. And they did not get anything. This fire card is used up. Equipment card's going away. I need 60 to move in, and I only have 55, so I have to draw a new hostile card. Who's here? 1 hostile at long range. I draw for radio. Yeah. Anybody around? No. They try to get some help. No reserves. 5 action. 1 tactical. I'm 1 short. Crawl. Crawl. Fire. Blank. Move. Move. Scope. I'm going to try to move. I'm in +2. I need a 4. I did it. 1, 2, 3. 1. I get to move into the target card. Flip. Here we are. Surprise. I like surprise. This move is done. I'm in the target card. Surprise is found the target in an unguarded moment, moving at short range and is unaccompanied. So he's at short range. This guy we lost because we crawled forward. And what do we have? I've got a scope. Move. Blank. Fire. Crawl. Crawl. Obviously firing. With a +1 wind modifier here. He's at short range, which is a +1. Is he moving? I don't remember what the card said. He's moving. So we got to try to spot him. Yeah, we spotted him. Short range +1. Moving. -1. That's a 0. Our wind. Now just 1 die. 3. -2. We need a 7. Got him. Got our kill. That will give me that, and 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to try to, well, I got to take my hostiles that's shot. Anybody alerted? There. Nobody. How many hostiles did we get? 2. 2 hostiles at long range coming in to see what the ado is about. Even with the cover, we hit him. I have increased accuracy and the cover. They canceled out on that shot. Just so you know, the math did work out. Try not to cheat. I have 70. I need 75 to move into the next card. This scope is done. One-time use. I'm not going to shoot. I'm going to try to move. I'm in +1 cover. I need a 5 or a 6. We got it. We move into the next card, which is no cover, and I've got 2 crawls here which I can use, and that puts us off of the map. And we made it through. Enemy reserves felt a little pressure. I could maybe add 1 more. Sometimes I think we could get more pressure than we could deal with. I don't want it to be too hard. I might add 1 more enemy reserves just to try to tweak it. Try to get this just right. It's going to take a few plays to figure that out. So here we got 9 XP and we lose 1 for a wound, so that's 8. And we made it through and got our weapons expert and got off the map with our 2 crawls. So those go up here along with the move. That infiltrate skill is key. Yeah, so we got our 4, and then we got a couple of airstrikes, and yeah, a couple of infiltrates. Pretty good. I like the way this plays. I really wish somebody would give me some feedback. It seems good to me. What do you think? I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.